I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Panerai Luminor 1950 8 Days GMT Chrono Monopulsante PAM 275. You can see this Panerai compound complication and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see this J-Series multiply complicated Panerai on our website with accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images that don't include my wrist, and of course complete pricing details for this PAM 275. Now there are two types of Panerai collector. There's the type for whom simplicity is authenticity and any deviation from something immediately inspired by a historical reference is heresy. And then there's the Panerai collector with a broader purview who looks at the brand through the modern lens of luxury watchmaking and says, you know what? I dig métier d'art, I dig complication, I dig refined watchmaking, and the more refinements, the better. And for that Paneristo, I have the PAM 275. The watch on my wrist is a stainless steel 44mm timepiece, and that's pretty much where the adherence to late Panerai tradition begins to depart from the norm. 44 in steel, absolutely. That's Panerai. But 19.5mm thick and chocked with complication, that's luxury. Now you can see my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and the watch is remarkably thick. I will say, as nearly 20mm thick watches go, this one wears thinner than most thanks to the slope of the case flank, but rest assured, this is not one that is supposed to hide underneath the shirt cuff, and not one that has any inclination to do so. Although the span, 53.5mm from lug to lug, extremity to extremity, is quite manageable on my wrist, it's the height of this watch that's going to polarize. I will say, however, the curvature of that sapphire is one of the best renditions of a plexiglass style in sapphire material I have ever seen. All the advantages of sapphire with the aesthetic effect of plexiglass, it's very cool to look at. And again, it's easy to wear on a small wrist. Across the wrist, it does not overwhelm. The height is the defining dimension here, and the weight is impressive. This is a massive timepiece, heavier than many in gold and even platinum. You don't forget you're wearing it. It's supremely satisfying for those for whom a solid luxury timepiece should always express its mass as class. Now, the watch features the quick-release underlug system originally introduced in the mid-2000s. You can see it's paired with an unusual for Panerai black rectangular scale alligator leather strap with folded edges and a contrasting stitch. When I say unusual for Panerai, these watches generally come on rubber or calfskin. Alligator is reserved for upscale references, and it's paired with a beautifully satin finished Panerai steel pin buckle for easy on-the-fly adjustments. Of course, the quick-release system allowing you to swap straps without the intervention of a jeweler or need for specialized tools. You can do it with just what comes in the box. Now, you'll note the case is beautifully finished, all in satin. Given its size, a gloss finish would have been overpowering, so the brushed or grained finish is an excellent solution. Small amount of gleam and luster in the form of the polished bezel, giving way to that spectacular domed sapphire. Again, one of the most dramatic I've ever seen. A traditional sandwich dial. Now, you can see there is no simulated aged patina here. This is conventional Luminova, a fully loomed disc beneath a stencil. The stencil features all the indices and Arabic numerals, and the loom shines through the stencil, creating the appearance of depth and a singular vision in low or no light conditions, one of the signatures of Panerai. You'll also note there's an awful lot going on in terms of complexity here. There's a dogtooth style 8-day power reserve at 6 o'clock, small seconds at 9 o'clock with an AM/PM indicator inset at 6 o'clock. There is a second time zone, and of course there's a chronograph going at the same time. The Lancet style seconds hand for the chronograph, and the minute counter at 3 o'clock. Now it's a mono pusher, so I pause, I reset, and now unlocking the iconic device protecting the crown, lifting its cam lever, I can maneuver in the intermediate position, and you can see the GMT second time zone or reference time zone hand. That hand is cued to the AM/PM or night day indicator in the sub-register at 9 o'clock. Now, of course, the device protecting the crown is an icon of Panerai, and Italy's own solution to the problem of a secure crown underwater. Rather than the screw-down system used for years by Rolex during the 1950s, Panerai created this solution for those with gloved hands, sweaty hands, wet hands. Pull the lever, and now you can easily wind the watch, and you'll note the advance of the 8-day power reserve scale at 6 o'clock. You can also pull the crown out and quickly set it. Much easier to access than a screw down. It also gives you all aspect protection for considerably more bracing against the shock of the stem tube, and crown than you would get with conventional shouldered crown guards. And again, a design icon. Now, on the case back, you can see the caliber that makes the magic happen. 3 mainspring barrels, 29 joules. This is the 8-day power reserve Panerai caliber 2004/1, part of the original mid-2000s family of Panerai in-house calibers. These are the most over-engineered and lavishly equipped Panerai calibers of all time. Panerai wanted to debut as a true manufacturer in spectacular fashion, and with a GMT 8-day power reserve mono-pusher chronograph, they absolutely achieved that. Now you'll note the bridges are designed to look like a traditional 3/4 bridge on a pocket watch, an homage to the original calibers in the original military era 30s, 40s, and 50s Panerai combat watches. But you'll also note the modern architecture of the balance and the free-sprung index. Rolex style, it's free-sprung with a dual-anchored balance bridge for utmost stability in the face of shocks and vibrations, and it beats at a modern 4 Hz beat rate, or 28,800 vibrations per hour. You'll also note the architecture of the chronograph includes a column wheel for crisp function selection, and you can see the column wheel in action as you cycle the chronograph. It also includes a smooth vertical clutch engagement, so when you reset and restart, there's no jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand. Finally, and this is worth mentioning, the watch has one of the most elaborate hacking systems available, the zero reset, allowing you to synchronize the seconds hand, not just stopping the balance when you pull the crown, but resetting it precisely to the index at 0, so you can set the watch easily and precisely to the second against a reference time. You can set this time. You can function everything from the chronograph to the second time zone, the experience of using the crown guard, taking this watch, which in spite of its refinements is still 100-meter water resistance, and putting it through its paces on our website.